Good morning, everybody. Good morning, day farmers and everyone else watching. So we're going to do a little activity this morning that we can do hopefully with stuff in our house. So I thought we could make some plant pots out of loo rolls and egg cartons and plant some tomato seeds that you can get from tomatoes in your house. So I've never actually done this at home before, so it's a bit of an experiment, and we can check in over the next couple of weeks, see how it's all going, and I'll put another video up in a couple of weeks when the tomatoes hopefully start growing. So what we need, so firstly I have a tray here. This is just a standard tray that you can get food in. What it's going to be is a holder for the toilet roll once it's become a plant pot. So anything like that that you would normally throw away or put in the recycling, you can use. You'll need a loo roll or a few. If you have a few ready, you can collect them and have them ready. And an egg carton and some scissors. So that's what we need to start with. So firstly, we're going to make a loo roll plant pot. So you take your loo roll and you cut about 3/4 of the way up to make it a little bit smaller. At the other end, you can cut 4 lines. You could make a mark on them with a pen first if you wanted. 4 lines on each side. So if you imagine a clock, you'll do one at 12 o'clock, about this high, one at 3 o'clock, one at 6 o'clock, and one at 9 o'clock. And what you should have then are some flaps that you can fold over to make the base of the pot. And there we have it, a loo roll plant pot. Put it in your tray. I've made some others here earlier, so I've got 3 here. If they're a bit wobbly, you can always help them to stand up together using a rubber band. So you can put the rubber band around the plant pots to help them stand up. So now you've got your loo roll plant pots. Now we're going to make some egg carton plant pots. This one is very simple. You take your egg carton and you cut off the lid very carefully. That's it. And the lid becomes the tray, it becomes the base. So you just put the other part in there, and now you've got a plant pot tray with 6 modules, just like the ones we use at Cinderhope that are plastic. So you can put soil and seeds in here, which is what we're going to do next. Okay, so I've come outside to get some compost to put into the pots that we made. Lovely day out here. Hope you're all getting some sunshine and some fresh air, going out for your daily exercise. So I'll show you the compost that I've got. I managed to get this compost from a local supermarket, Lidl. So some supermarkets do have it if you can get some. If not, you can use garden soil. It's not as good. It hasn't got as much of the right food and nutrients, and it sometimes holds water a bit too much, but we can use it if that's all you've got. So what I'm going to do is try and fill up the egg cartons with this lovely compost. There we go. And I'll fill up the loo rolls with garden soil, so we can do both. Sometimes garden soil can be a bit thick, so ideally do this with gloves, but if you haven't got any gloves, break it up a bit with your hand, break up the lumps and put loo roll. Ooh, the loo rolls ready for planting. So now we have our pots ready with the compost and soil in. Now we're going to do some planting. So fresh tomatoes and tomato seeds. So what I've done here is cut a tomato up, and I've washed some of the seeds and got them nice and clean and not sticky anymore. And then I've cut other bits up, and we're going to do an experiment to see what it would be like to plant these in the soil. We'll start by putting the fresh tomatoes into the egg cartons, because they're really the only ones that are big enough. Push that down, sprinkle with some more compost. Cover it up. Okay, so you just carry on like that with the fresh tomatoes. Now we're going to plant the tomato seeds. So if I pick one of those up, there you can see it, tiny little seed. Now I'm going to drop it into a little hole that I had made using this stick. You could do it with a finger, with your pen. Just make sure if you use your hands that you wash your hands well afterwards. So there it is. Gently cover it up. We'll do one in the loo roll holders as well. Drop it in, cover it up. And the next thing we need is some water. When you water in, be careful not to put too much water in, otherwise the egg cartons and the loo roll will go a bit soggy. You can use whatever you've got. I've got a gravy jug here. You can see I've used another tray under the egg carton to make sure the water doesn't go everywhere. I've also got this spray, so you can use that as well. Something like this if you have one, which means that the seed doesn't get pushed down too much by the water. Now you've planted your seeds, they should be ready to grow. It's good to keep them on a windowsill that's quite warm. If you haven't got a very warm windowsill, in fact, this might be a good idea even if you have got a warm windowsill, is to cover up the plant pots with some cling film like this, because that creates a really warm temperature for the seeds to germinate, and hopefully some little green seedlings will come through within a couple of weeks. Now, if you do cover it with cling film, it's a good idea to check them every day if you can, to check that there's not too much moisture in there, it's not too wet, and to see if they need some more water. Give them a bit of air. So I look forward to hearing from you all to see whether your seedlings are growing, and I'll keep you posted to tell you whether mine have. Have a great day.